Hello everyone, today we are going to look at the glitch moves available in the Generation 2 games, Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. You might be familiar with some of the glitch moves from Generation 1, as glitch moves are much more common to find in that generation. Gen 1 also offers a pretty notorious one, known as Super Glitch, which tends to break the game. Without further ado, let's see what the Gen 2 games have to offer in terms of glitch moves. The glitch moves between Pokemon Gold and Silver are pretty much the same, but the ones in Crystal will act differently. With that being the case, let's start in Pokemon Gold and Silver, as I've already given this Magikarp some of the glitch moves. So now, let's see what they do in battle. But before I do that, I'm going to use a Max Elixir, because some of the glitch moves, as you saw, did not have any power points. It's kind of hard to use them when they don't have any power points. Weeping Bell will work just fine. So you'll notice the names are a bit strange. I'll go more into that in a second, but to get a lay of the land, the top one is FC. This one here that acts like Substitute is FD. The one beneath that is FE, which you'll notice, much like the last one, is usable and relatively helpful. So right now it took the form of Sleep Powder, which is a bit strange. And the last one is FF. We'll get to that in a second. So it keeps using Sleep Powder. This one's probably the most interesting, next to the one that is Substitute. But we're going to switch to FF. You'll notice there it actually just skips our turn. It's completely useless. Pretty unfortunate. And the reason why the names are different pretty much every time is because the names are random. A bunch of 9s usually show up, and that's due to VRAM inaccessibility. But that third move is a bit strange. It really is weird. Like when you first use it, it makes it hard to tell exactly what it's supposed to do. But for now, when we use the top one, FC, it's really strange. And then when we do that, it just says nothing happened. Pretty comical when it happens in that way. But then it will actually reset the game and put us into a glitch dimension. Which the glitch dimension is a lot more common, and you can do a little bit more with it in Pokemon Gold and Silver. Crystal's a bit limited, and we'll see that in a minute. But yeah, it looks like Pokemon Gold had too much battery acid. You look strong. I look corrupted more than anything. But I wanted to include this because this is a very interesting effect. I haven't gone too much into the glitch dimensions, and I'll have to do that at a later time. Butterfree actually looks pretty cool here. But we're going to move along with the glitch moves because the main focus of this video are the glitch moves. And speaking of which, we're going to go a little bit more into the third move, or FE. I say FE because that's the index it is. It's 254, technically. And you can see there it says Mirror Move. So it's like a weird corrupted version of Mirror Move, much like how FD is like Substitute, or 253. So that's all it's really going to do for us, since much like the normal Mirror Move, if your opponent doesn't use a move before you use it, it doesn't do anything. The Move Deleter provides an opportunity to look at these moves in a different light. You'll notice that the typing is different here than it is when you're in battle. There's good old index FE, making things interesting. That one tends to cause issues in Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's a bit different in Crystal. But we're going to reload and actually look at that again. Try it one more time. And as you'll see there, we'll actually crash again. The type seems to have a very long name sometimes, and that's kind of the root of the problem. However, to get around that, I switched move FF to the top, so now we can see it's typing. This time, when I went over FE, it reset the game, put us in a glitch dimension, And this one I was like, might as well show it off, it's kind of cool. It just reminds me of winter. It looks like if they added a winter season into the Johto region, this is what it would look like. Until we get down here, then it kind of doesn't look as good. Glitch dimensions are very strange. But that's not actually all the glitch moves available in Gold and Silver. There's one more. You can use that using the Mail Rider, you should be familiar with. And that is to give the move index 00, or index 000 glitch move. It's the equivalent of Cool Trainer in Generation 1. Before we do anything else, we're going to try to view it using the move deleter. However, there's an interesting effect. Much like the glitch Pokemon that occupies index 00, it acts a bit strange, so the game's just going to view it as if he has only one move. But I gave that Magikarp 4 using that script. Let's check it out in battle though. I would have said Graveler would be great for this. However, we'll see here very shortly that once I try to use the move, it's going to miss, which it usually does, and then the Graveler's going to blow up in my face. Very rude. So let's go to a route where we have Pokemon that won't do that to us. So I keep trying to use the move. It has a similar thing where the name will change, and that's due to the VRAM accessibility where a bunch of 9s will show up. However, if we use an X accuracy here, we'll actually stop missing, which is going to be pretty nice. And it's going to give this interesting effect, which does cause badly poisoned, so similar to toxic in a way. And we'll see that throughout this battle. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you some info about this move. So the length of the name type for this move depends on a variety of factors, mostly the party and overworld tiles. This also includes the size of the party prior to opening the move menu. As I mentioned earlier, this is the equivalent of Cool Trainer from Generation 1 and can easily be obtained by trading a Ditto over with the Cool Trainer move. This glitch move can play a role in a specific use of arbitrary code execution using the type index DO glitch move. But at the end of the day, all it really does practically in battle is badly poison the Pokemon. And that's after the use of an X accuracy, because in my experience I could not get it to hit any other way. But that's all for the glitch moves in Pokemon Gold and Silver, so now it's time to move on to Crystal. My setup on Crystal is pretty similar to Gold and Silver. The only exception is I gave the 4 moves to Celebi. So once again, FC, FD, FE, and FF in that order, going down. Some of these should look familiar from the glitch Pokemon of Crystal, because some of those glitch Pokemon had these moves. I swear, one of them learned every glitch move in the game on its own. I'm going to use an Ether, you can see the names a little bit differently there. The one has a long name. Like, its name is actually long. Sometimes the move's name isn't that long. Some of them are random. The first one is not. We'll see. FC, that is. But some of them will have a long type name, and that's the issue with some of them. So I try FC right off the bat. It says Celebi braced itself, and then we're actually supposed to go into a glitch dimension. However, Crystal handles it a bit differently and displays that error. So I'm just going to reload a state and try again. Okay, let's see what we can do now. So yes, the top one's FC. The third one is going to be FE, which if we remember from Gold and Silver, was the one that acted similar to Mirror Move. But that is not the case here, and put us into another glitch dimension. It seems that glitch dimensions aren't as fun in Pokemon Crystal as they are in Gold and Silver. They say third time's a charm, so let's give it a shot. So we did FC, FE, so we do FD here, and it acts similar to how it did in Gold and Silver, which is kind of neat. It acts like Substitute. It was pretty durable here. It was kind of impressive. I mean, Snubbull is 20 levels lower, but still. Once again, tried FE and it just doesn't work. Don't recommend using FC and FE in this game. And you know the worst part? Here we are. I'm like, okay, hoping for something to work here. We got substitute, that's cool. Let's try FF. And it's just like how it was in Gold and Silver. It skips your turn. Because we technically use it, but it doesn't do anything, so it just skips your turn. So the main takeaway is that the glitch moves are much better in Gold and Silver. At least those 4. We still have to look at index 00, but for now, we're going to go to the move deleter. Let's hope something interesting can happen here. These moves are kind of lacking compared to how they were in Gold and Silver. The third one seems to have no name. The first and has a very long type name. Something I didn't mention while in Gold and Silver is that all these moves have seemingly random attack power, you'll notice. So I thought it'd be interesting to try and make him delete one of the moves, one of these glitch moves, and see what happens. Nothing really special happens. I realize I should have selected the third move, because I'm pretty confident that's the one that has the long name. As you can see, in the absence of the first move, when we go into the move menu, there's still a move there with a long name. Pretty anticlimactic. So once again, I'm going to utilize the Mail Rider to give the move to Celebi. As I mentioned in Gold and Silver, a Ditto with Cool Trainer can also be used to obtain this move. Let's go into battle and check it out. Rattata will do just fine. You'll notice in the move menu it was blank, but then when it shows up there, it has a very interesting name. A jumbled mess. It has low accuracy, so it's unlikely to hit without the use of an X accuracy, which, fun fact, bypasses the accuracy check in Gens 1 and 2. And you'll notice here it has a similar effect to how it was in Gold and Silver. So it's essentially a shittier, less accurate, but interesting version of Toxic. That's all for the practical use of this. There is a bit of an issue we can run into. There's a difference involving how the move's type name works. To put simply, if the type name does not terminate, or in other words end, it will result in a crash. However, there are methods to prevent that from happening, using the second icon in the Pokemon party. That can be used to terminate the name. This is by using the Fox, Monster, or Poliwag icon. It's not a complete guarantee, and there is a possibility of other icons working. But as we saw there, it's not terribly helpful, so it's honestly not even really worth the effort unless you want to experience it firsthand. It's unfortunate that it seems that the glitch moves in Generation 1 hold up to be better than the ones in Generation 2. Kinda makes sense because there's a lot more of them, a lot more variety. And Generation 2 isn't as broken as Gen 1. Still broken in some ways, as we saw. Be sure to let me know if there is anything I missed, as I'm likely to revisit some aspects of this in a future video. Also feel free to let me know if you were surprised by how the moves turned out. Personally, I found it a little underwhelming, as some of the moves just crashed or didn't do anything at all. I'm looking at you, Index FF. There's still quite a lot I'd like to explore in Generation 2. Comment below something you'd like to see in a future video, and I might cover it. This brings us to the end of the video. I appreciate greatly if you made it this far. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to rate it well, to increase its reach so others can see. Check out this video if you'd like to see what some of the glitch moves are like in Generation 1. And now is the time I thank you for watching, and hope that you'd stick around for another. Thank you, and take care.